can I take this and this and turn it into something like this? I've done a lot of creative things and I think I can make it happen, so let's get started. First thing we're gonna do is clean the little cabinet that I got. I actually picked it up from a thrift store for $15, okay? It's supposed to be like a little end table, it looks like. It has like a little cabinet. However, it's the perfect square base. It's nice and sturdy to use as a base for my coffee table. And I picked up this large round wooden plank, whatever you wanna call this, from Lowe's for $39. So it was a little on the pricey side, but it was much cheaper than buying a coffee table that I actually want. So we're gonna make it happen. I'm gonna open everything up, clean off the cabinet, and we're gonna get started on putting it all together. Here's one more overview of how that little cabinet looks. Like I said, I paid $15 for this at a thrift store. It has a cabinet with storage. The top is in a little bit of rough shape, but it doesn't matter because it's gonna get covered anyway. But I did wanna make sure that it was completely wiped down, you know, grease-free, no debris, nothing like that. And the sides in the front of this, where the actual door is actually in excellent condition. And I love the wood tone of it. I know it's not for everybody, but on the sides of it, all the way around, it has this wood that almost gives like a mid-century style look. I love how it looked. I loved it so much that I was like, you know what? Originally the plan was to paint it like a light beige, and I really love the way that coffee tables look at a lighter color. But I knew that once I painted it, it was going to be really hard to get it back to a wood tone. So I decided, you know what? Let's start with a wood tone first, and we'll live with it. If I want to change it, I can always paint it down the line. So that's the one beautiful thing about DIY, is that you can always customize and change things as time goes, depending on your preferences and just how your style changes. And I originally started off with the stain color, and it was a complete fail. It was not dark enough. It didn't match the original cabinet, and that's the look I was going for. So I then took it outside because I decided to use some gel stain. Gel stain is extremely strong smelling. It'll knock you out, okay? So make sure that if you are using gel stain, you use it outside. I then went ahead and started staining the top of this round panel, and this actually created the most beautiful color, and it matched almost perfectly with the original cabinet. Like I mentioned earlier, I can always paint it down the line. Y'all will have to let me know, do you think it would look better painted or just leave it stained? And you have to, don't judge it by a cover just yet. Wait till you see the overview, because I feel like sometimes when you're piecing pieces together, they're obviously not going to match 100%. But once it's styled and in the space, it really flows nicely, so just give it a chance. And I am gluing the round panel on just using some heavy-duty liquid nails. I could have put a screw through it, but I didn't want a screw popping through into the cabinet that I plan on using for storage, so I just used a crap ton of liquid nails and I glued the top right on. Now, once it was dry enough to move it, I slid it into the living room and then let it dry a little bit longer, and eventually I did add a rug under it just to kind of ground the space. But y'all know how I feel about rugs in my house. I don't have rugs in my house for the simple fact that I have 4 dogs, and it helps keep things clean not having a ton of rugs. But anyway, this is what it looks like with a rug under it. Absolutely stunning. I love how it turned out. Okay, coffee table is done. First of all, I think I nailed it. A dupe for way less. I honestly think it looks so good. I do think the base is like a little taller than what I initially like envisioned in mind, so it was kind of throwing me off at first, but once I styled it, I was like, oh, you know, it's not too bad. I kind of like that it's a little taller than typical coffee tables. Also, the color could not have matched any better. I ended up going with walnut. It's a Minwax walnut shade, and it matched the original cabinet, so I didn't even have to do anything to that. I literally just glued on the round panel. Like, are you kidding? Easiest DIY ever, super affordable. Mine cost $70 by the end of it, by the time I got liquid nails. I had to get a couple paint brushes, and then the cabinet was $15. The actual round panel was $49, which I didn't realize it was that much until I looked at my receipt. I'm pretty sure the tag said $35, but I'm not gonna complain because I love how it turned out. But either way, $70 versus like $200-300 for like the same look, I'll take it. And I was gonna mention, down the line, I think it'd be really cool to do like a fluted detail all the way around. And obviously it's a cabinet, so on this side over here, it has storage. So nobody will even know. I could put like pillows in there, I could put candles, whatever I want. decor, extra. Actually, that's probably what I'm gonna do, is use it for decor storage. Like all this random stuff that I never find a home for. Stick it in there and we're good to go. Nobody's gonna know. But let me know in the comments what y'all think. I love it so much. Alright, so that's it for the coffee table DIY. Let me know what you think. And then now we're gonna hop outside. I actually found this 3-tier metal corner shelf on the side of the road on the way home the other day. I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta stop and grab this. And it just needed a fresh coat of paint, and I actually used it for some of our like herbs and a couple other like random plants that I've had on the front porch, because if I put them out back, they burn and die. So I have this little shelf out here now, and it turned out so cute for free. Another free flip that I did was a plant that my husband found on the side of the road. He literally texted me and said, hey babe, do you want this? He already knew. I was like, yes, please grab it. So he picked it up. It only had like one of the leaves at the bottom. It looked like something had chewed it off. I'm assuming like some type of lizard or something. But those I just kind of tucked under, and then I just spray painted it. So, well, first I had to clean it. So what I decided to do was just lay it down on its side and just hose it off, since it was so dusty. I didn't want to have to go through individually, and this worked out really well. So just laid it down on its side and hosed it off really good, and just kind of rotated it to make sure that I got all the dust off. So it did come pretty clean. There's like a couple spots that I might have to hit with like a rag, but overall it's fine. I actually plan on using this on my porch just because it is like an indoor-outdoor plant. And I love these because I don't have to worry about killing it. And I think it's really pretty, and it's nice and tall. I can't believe someone put this on the side of the road. But I love free things, so I'm really thankful. And then as far as the base goes, the actual planter pot, it is metal. It kind of looks like plastic on camera, but it is metal, which is nice. So I just took some spray paint that I picked up from Lowe's. It was left over from my grandma's kitchen makeover. And after wiping it all dry, I just hit it with the spray paint to get rid of some of that red tone. And it looks brand new. I love it so much. I hope he finds more trees on the side of the road for free. Speaking of tree, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. I have a crepe myrtle at my mom's house laying in the ground that I was supposed to get today, and I forgot. Alright, so after I finished up that, a couple days later, I actually had to clean up outside. And our back porch stays a mess. Like, we spend so much time out here, it doesn't take long. And we had a major storm come through and knock chairs over, the rug, like trash was flying everywhere. I don't even know. Like, it was pretty bad. It literally was like a tornado. And like, you can see my planters on the ground, all the lanterns are knocked down, the charcoal bag flew out from underneath the grill. Like, it was pretty bad out there. So I have to get all this cleaned up, just to do a quick little refresh. I'm going to talk about it in an upcoming video, so hopefully it's not too repetitive, because I just get excited and I can't wait to just tell you guys a million times. But we are starting on the porch, so there's that, but you'll see that in an upcoming video.
Stuck in the middle, so we climb the fence. It's like the whole turned its back on us, and now we can't tell if it's heaven or hell.
set the fire and tone to your promised land.
Alright, this is totally random, but after some work in the yard, I was making some Philly cheesesteaks using some leftover steak, mushrooms, and onions that we had. So here I'm just kind of fishing out all the onions and mushrooms and throwing it in with the steak that I just chopped up. I put that in the pan to warm up, and then I ended up picking up some Publix bread the other day with some of their garlic butter. So I put that in the oven, and while that's cooking, everything else I'm going to get going. I'm making mine like a keto friendly, so I am using eggs instead of the bread, but you can use the bread if you want. If you want it to taste better, use the bread. I'm not gonna lie, I took a bite and I was like, dang, I'm missing out, but it was still good. So basically, after the bread was done, you just add the steak, peppers, and mushrooms to that bread that you just made, and then you're gonna add provolone cheese, and then put the half that has all the stuff on it back in the oven on broil, and then let it like get nice and like melted and everything, and voila, you have a homemade Philly cheesesteak that is the freaking bomb. I'm telling you right now, this is a dinner. I cannot believe how good this turned out. I was actually kind of surprised. I told my husband, I'm like, dang, this actually turned out better than I thought it was going to, and I cannot cook, let me just tell you that, but this, like, whatever I whipped up today, 10 out of 10. And I totally forgot to get an overview of what his looked like, but you can kind of get the idea. It was deliciousness in a sandwich. And then mine here is the keto carnivore friendly kind, so I use eggs, like I said, instead of bread, peppers, onions, the steak, and provolone cheese, and I just kind of layered the other egg on top, and I had to eat it with a fork and knife because you can't pick it up as a sandwich, but it was still delicious.
It's like the world turned its back on us, and now you can't tell if it's heaven or hell. It's like knowing all the answers. Oh, you're sorry, but you never can tell.
All the lovers, we were diamond far too deep. Different colors that we had to pull to sleep. All the lovers, hope that we could break the spell. All the lovers, we went down the wishing well. All the lovers, we were.
So after our delicious lunch, we got all cleaned up, got showers, everything. I swept the floor a little bit. The kids were getting Monopoly set up, and we actually played a super long round of Monopoly. Monopoly is so, so my kids, I've actually had this question asked a couple times, like, what is your favorite age of your, like, that your kids have been at yet, or so far? And I would say the age that they're at now. Just because, like, they can do things that, like, we love to do as well, and, like, it's funny and it's enjoyable. It's, I don't know, it was hilarious. My son kept going bankrupt, and he used to, like, get upset whenever he was a little younger when we would play, but now he's starting to kind of get, like, a little bit more competitive, and he's like, I'm going to come back from this, so it's just really fun, and I definitely love the stage that we're at. But this is also random footage I threw in here. This is, like, this little 3-tier, well, it's not really a 3-tier, it's a little rotating shelf that you can use in your bathroom to hold like makeup and stuff, and that's exactly what I'm gonna use it for. And you can adjust the shelves themselves to put different things in, so like dry shampoo, lotions, anything you need, you can fit it in here because you can adjust the shelves to whatever height you want. Love it so much. I ended up ordering a second one for my daughter's room because as soon as I put it together, I was like, this is gonna be amazing, and it has been the best thing for my bathroom. I have a ton of stuff out on my counter all the time, just simply out of convenience. Could I put it away? Sure, but I just like to have it all right out there, ready for me to use. So having this is way easier to keep things organized on my bathroom sink than having, I had like this little shelf on the wall, I had this other little bin on the thing. This is big enough to fit everything all in one spot. So highly recommend. It's like $15. I can link it if you're interested. But yeah, I ended up putting this together, and then I'll fix up my bathroom a little bit. Okay, here's the one I ordered for my daughter's room. Same thing, hers just doesn't have as much on it. Mine already filled up, but it's so nice and so convenient. The only thing I will say that is kind of like a bummer is the way that these work. It's almost like it needs like another little spot for your brushes to sit because they kind of slip around, but I mean, it works. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed seeing the DIY coffee table. I know that's like just very random, but I love how it turned out, and it worked out for what I wanted at the budget that I had, so it was really cool. I also have so many projects going on right now, so yeah, life's been a little busy. My next video though, just to update you, is a life update / project update video. I'm showing you my grandma's kitchen, talking about the project we have going on in the backyard, so definitely don't want to miss that. It'll kind of just give you an idea of what to expect from my channel over the next couple weeks, months, and what else is happening. Then I'm going to start posting the videos of my grandma's kitchen. I'm going over there today to finish that, so I have to get ready to go because I'm going to run out of time. But thank you guys once again for being here. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see all of you guys in my next one. Bye, y'all.